My next guest is a very, very dear friend of mine. He also just happens to be the 45th President of the United States. It's Donald J. Trump. President Trump, nice to see you.
Hey, Nikki, how are you?
Donald, you look fantastic. Excuse me, Mr. President. You look fantastic. You got a great tan going.
Thanks, Nikki. I was just golfing with Arnold Palmer, Jack Nicklaus, Tiger Woods. And I beat all of them. They're good golfers, but I beat them all.
Wait, I'm pretty sure Arnold Palmer's dead.
It might have been his brother or cousin or something, but his name was Arnold.
All right, what'd you shoot?
Normally I shoot in the high 40s, low 50s.
You mean like 20, 30 under par?
I've only lost one round of golf in my entire life, and I shot a 42 that day. 42. Can you believe it? A 42, and I lost.
Oh my God. So you're telling me you shot 30 under par and you still lost?
Yes, I did. I admitted I lost.
Who'd you play?
Kim Jung Un, the Rocket Man. He could be, he is the best golfer I've ever seen. He is just so phenomenal. I gotta tell you the story how I lost. We were on the 18th hole. It was a par 5, 502 yards. Rocket Man went first, and he hit a hole-in-one. It was a phenomenal shot. Just a terrific shot. Best shot I've ever seen. Could have been. Well, it was. Yeah, it was the best shot I've ever seen. And so I was up next, and I hit a beautiful drive. Phenomenal. I thought it was also going to be a hole-in-one. We'd exchanged hole-in-ones on many, many holes. So I hit the ball. Beautiful drive. Went within maybe 2 inches of the hole. I was just so devastated, and I was willing it in the hole, I wanted it to go in, but it just wouldn't, so I sent one of my bodyguards, one of the Secret Service guys, one of the guys I hate. He was a Trump hater. He was a Trump hater from the beginning. And I told him, hey, what the hell was his name? It was George or something. I said, Georgie, go put the ball in the hole, go kick it in or something. And, Rocket Man is a really, really smart guy. He's so smart. He's got to be one of the smart... Well, he is probably the smartest diplomat I've ever dealt with. He's phenomenally smart. So he understood what I was saying to good old Georgie. And so, Georgie went running up ahead. Kim Jung Un, he pulls out a gold-plated assault rifle, and he shoots Georgie from 500 yards away. It was an unbelievable shot. He shot him right between the eyes. He killed him. He killed him right there.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Nikki, it was unbelievable. I'd never seen anything like it. But you know what? I was so impressed by that shot by Rocket Man. I said, you know what? That's okay. I lose. I'm not a sore loser. I'm not going to lose to Sleepy Joe. But if I had to lose to Rocket Man, I had to lose that day. And that's the only time I've ever lost. I've beaten Michael Jordan. I've beaten Tiger Woods. I've beaten them all. Because, you know what? I can read greens better than anybody. I just understand the game. Nikki. You know how it is.
President Trump, everyone underestimates how good of an athlete you are. You're a very tall man. How tall are you?
I'm 6'3", and the fake news media, they won't tell you this. They'll say, oh, he's so short. I'm 6'3". I could be, well, I am actually the tallest president ever, when I stand next to Rocket Man, it's like, Shaq versus Muggsy Bogues. I'm so tall, I look over him, and I look over all these guys, Putin. Putin's probably, 5'10". I'm so much taller than him. And then they say is, oh, he has small hands. No, I actually have the biggest hands. They won't say this, they won't print this. I have the biggest hands of any president. I know height, I know hand size, I know all of that better than anybody.
You're wearing your MAGA hat, your Make America Great Again hat. I want to ask you about that slogan. Where did the slogan come from?
Well, Nikki, it's a phenomenal question, and it really just shows you how brilliant I am. I am worth billions and billions and billions of dollars for a reason, okay? I really am. And the slogan came from, I was walking around Home Depot, which is a phenomenal store. It smells so lovely. I saw the sign that said, make your living room great again. And I said, oh my God, we need to make America great again. Can you believe that? The fake news won't say anything about that. How brilliant and brilliant and brilliant I am. That's brilliant. Taking that sign, putting my shit on it. It's so smart. People don't give me credit. I'm so smart. No one knows about stealing things and people's slogans and intellectual property more than I do, okay? I'm so good at it. That was just a great example. I have light bulbs that flash in my head. Beam, beam, beam. Boom, boom, boom.
Another great story from the president. My God, that was phenomenal. So, Mr. President, switching gears here for a second. I know you're very tall, you've got big hands, that's a lot of NBA players. So how do you feel about the NBA coming back? How do you feel about sports coming back in general? And, are you at all concerned?
I think the NBA needs to come back immediately. I'm actually, they won't say this in the fake news media, but I'm actually a phenomenal basketball player. You mentioned my height and my hands again. That I use as a huge advantage. I just played Ben Carson, who's my HUD secretary, who also happens to be black. I beat him 40-0, okay? I beat him 40-0, okay? I made 10 straight three-pointers from half court, okay? Which, they won't tell you this, but that's very hard for people to do. Not me, but for other people, it's very challenging. And I'm just a phenomenal basketball player. So yes, I want basketball back. I want baseball back. I want all of it, okay? I'm sick of watching 30-year-old World Series, okay? I want new stuff. I want new. Bring it back.
Are you at all concerned that players might get sick or anything of that nature?
Nikki, if it was up to me, we would have never have closed the country, okay? Flip-Flop and Fauci was giving me such awful... It could have been, it was actually the worst advice I've ever gotten. And, they won't say this, but I know more about words that start with pan than anybody. Pandemic, Panera Bread, Panda Express. All of them, okay?
I know we're coming up on our time here, President Trump.
Well, I just want everybody to know that I am the hardest working president ever. I take at least 12 Adderall a day. So I don't sleep, okay? I literally have 40 televisions in the Oval Office. 40. That's the most ever, by far the most ever. I have so many TVs on at one time. I've got my sports on one section of TVs. I've got my, fake news. I've got my pornography. I've got my real news. I've got everything on television, okay? I'm working very, very hard. Doing nothing. So I want everyone to make sure that you're going out and you're spending money, okay? Lots of money, beautiful money, and we're working really, really hard, okay? Thank you, Nikki. This was a phenomenal interview. You're always been a top-notch guy. You're phenomenal. You're terrific. The best.
Thank you, Mr. Trump. God, that was such a fantastic interview. I can't appreciate you enough. Thank you so much, sir.